Yeah, the record button is in the right spot this time. Not like the last time where it was out.
Right.
Search for a stupid thing.
We should show captions.
Want to know what I said in English
Right.
or any other language? So Google
Right.
Translate that stuff and come back. But anyway,
Hello, everybody.
yes, that was our introductory rant here at the little podcast that we do called "In the Midst of the Shadows." All right, I am Jason. This is our co-host.
Craig.
I'm pointing up because, in my view, you're above me.
Yeah, see, in my view, I'm above you too.
All right, that works out. So hopefully, when all this is when you see it, it's the same way. Because
Right.
I've noticed in other episodes, I do that. I point up to you instead of back at you, which is what I should do. But I point up because in my screen you're above me.
Yeah.
It's like we're the Brady Bunch, and I'm doing this.
Right. Yeah, see, my screen is like you're this big area and I'm this little box above you.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh. Everybody's equal in my computer.
Oh, well, hey. My computer likes you more than it likes me. So what are we going to talk about today, Jason?
Oh, well, we had so much fun last week talking about different like horror stories that we're going to branch off and do another one.
Yep. Mine's a little bit unconventional.
Yeah. Do you want to go first or would you like me?
No, you go first. You go first because yours are probably going to be like scary, where mine are scary in a different light.
Okay. Mine takes us all the way back to the year 1978. Do you remember 1978?
Yeah, I was 6.
Yeah, it was 5.
We're old fuckers.
Don't
tell me shut up.
So anyway, 1978 was actually a good year, but there was some pretty good cartoons back then. Saturday mornings were just bliss. You wake up. But one of the things that I cherish around this time frame was the night of Halloween.
Yes,
I loved Halloween. We would during this time frame we would go trick or treating every year. We had those plastic costumes with the plastic mask that smelled like death. That you were high as hell by the time you went to the third plate, and then by halfway through the night, you're wearing your Superman costume that has a picture of Superman on it, so it looks nothing like actually being Superman. It's just a billboard for him.
right.
That's the side story. This was not a blissful evening for the three that I'm going to talk about.
Uh-oh.
So, in the outskirts of Sioux City, I have to give props. I got this story off of a YouTube channel called Horror Story. I want you to go check out the rest of his stuff. This is, like we said on this channel, we research stuff to get your interest peaked, and I'd like you to check out this one. I think I did one for Mr. Ballin as well last week. Check out his channel as well if you like story form videos. So, but anyway, I am going to retell his story that he'd found, or her story. I don't really know because I don't.
Okay.
I think
it doesn't matter.
Anyway, doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. They can be whatever they want. Okay, so three friends. They're 13-year-old. Three 13-year-olds were out trick or treating. Now, in Iowa, there's cornfields. In a lot of mid America, you have pockets of houses, and then you have dirt road, pockets of houses, and that's how this place was. So these three were having a good time, having a dandy time with the amount of candy that they're getting in their pillowcases. Just loads and loads and loads. Well, Kent they were walking between house to house. Kent notices out of the corner of his eye, he sees this red van that's just not normal in they've never seen it around before. He grew up in Sioux City his entire life. 13 years, but never seen a red van like this. And he doesn't think anything of it, doesn't want to scare his friends, so they keep going. They travel to the next group of houses, they do this, but then he looks again, that van is there. So now they have a couple hundred yards of cornfields. This is where he says, hey, that van is getting closer. Yeah, have you guys seen that van? Turn on, they're like, oh shit. All right. Let's be mindful. So they turn, but they realize that it wasn't a couple hundred yards. They have a long way to go to get to the next section of houses. But they realize, let's get there as quick as we can. And if this van comes, we'll run to a house and we'll ask them to call for help.
Right.
So they're being smart about it. This is, I mean, they're 13-year-olds. I mean, we had a sense of our surroundings, and we had just enough knowledge from our parents to say, hey, don't do stupid shit and stranger danger.
Right.
So they're heading down this long stretch. It's a dirt road, which there are plenty of those in the Midwest, and there's a cornfields on either side.
Right, because it's Iowa.
Yeah,
that's all there is in Iowa.
Exactly. So they're as they're traveling along, they're walking faster and faster and faster. But then here the van actually speeds up. It starts for them. So at this point, the van flies up to him, gets right next to him. The door opens up, and they see a man, and they freak out, drop their bags of candy, and just run into the cornfield. They have to jump over a ditch, and when they get to the other side of the ditch, they go opposite ways. Well, our friend Kent lands there and realizes the man jumped over the ditch, which is right behind him.
Oh
so
shit!
He runs as fast as he can through the cornfield, and making sure that his arms are up to, because if you've ever run through a cornfield,
that shit hurts.
That stuff hits your face, that hurts.
Yeah, so it's like razor blades.
Runs, right? Until he's almost exhausted, and he stops because he doesn't hear anything rustling behind him, but he just catches his breath and waits and doesn't hear anything. But they realize he's deep in this cornfield. He has no idea which way is which because he was dodging and weaving. He could backtrack, but more than likely that's where the man is.
Mm-hmm.
So he just keeps walking and walking until in the direction that he thinks will help. Because really all he cared about was getting to a place, getting to a house, and calling for help for his friends. Well, he finally makes it to a dirt road, and he starts walking along the dirt road. All of a sudden, the man in the van comes and shows up again, right? But this time, as he sees the van, he darts back into the cornfield. The man walks around a little bit and then leaves. Okay, he's scared to death at this point. But at that a couple minutes later, he hears their other friend Whitney scream out, not to death, not me, leave me alone. And now he's terrified. Flight takes off again, right? So runs and runs and runs. Well, ends up back on an asphalt road this time, and another car comes by. Now he has no sense of time, has no idea where his friends are. Feels like he was in this cornfield for hours. Well, the car stops, picks him up, drives him home. Now it's 2 a.m.
Oh shit!
No idea where his friends are. Heard his one friend cry for help, and they go home. They call the cops. The cops come. It's about 3 a.m. when they explains the entire story. The cops like, okay, we're gonna go out, and they go look for his friends. He lays down at 4 a.m, tries to fall asleep, can only think about his friends. He'd rather be out there, but is afraid to leave his house because the man is around somewhere.
Right.
So about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a knock on the door. The cop said, hey, we found your bag of candy. We found the bags of candy, and then after a while later, we found your friend. We found your friend Kenneth. He happened to be hiding in the cornfield, not too far from where the candy was. So they get Kenneth home. He's fine, but they have no idea where Whitney is. So they're at home waiting. 8 o'clock that night, knock on the door, and they say, hey, the police said we had found Whitney. and we found another woman in the van. He goes, but here's the weird thing. The man was in the van, but from the looks of decomposition had been dead for a matter of weeks.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Whitney and this other grown woman were in the van. Now they start asking our friend Kent, is there anything that you can remember about him? He said, well, he had the word Sam Hain tattooed on one side, and then on the other side, he had 3+1 on his other arm. And so they found out through all the stuff that was in the van where the guy lived. So he lived in another town. I forget where the town was. So they go and they visit this house, but all over the house, it's like that Jim Carrey movie 24 or 23 was. 3+1 was written everywhere. And there were books, ledgers of things that happened throughout his entire history. And there were what happened on this date. And some of the journal entries go back hundreds of years. And when they finally go through all this stuff, they found that the man had another residence in Alabama. So they contacted Alabama police. Now this is days and days and days. When they contact Alabama, they find out that the guy did, in fact, they didn't know his name. It was obviously an alias. But in there, they found a journal in there that says that must kill 3 children plus 1 adult before midnight on Halloween, or you will die. And now in Alabama, they said, yes, last year on Halloween, we found the charred remains of 3 young teenagers and 1 adult female. And that's where the story is.
Wow. That was good.
That's what I'm saying. Go check out this channel because they're all like that.
Yeah, I think I did watch some of his at one point, or hers, or whatever they are. But yeah, but I was also doing a bunch of other things, so it was all background noise. Oh, wow. Mine's gonna take a bit, so if you got another one.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So my unconventional horror story is the Blue Ridge Rock Festival from 2023.
Okay. That's fairly recent.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Blue Ridge Rock Festival has been, and this guy's name should give you a hint of what's going to go down. So the gentleman who runs the Blue Ridge Rock Festival owns it. His name is Jonathan Sly.
Sly.
Whose father was arrested for scamming Christians and embezzling money from them.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a 4-day rock festival. People were allowed to camp there. It was at the Virginia International Raceway.
Okay.
So I mean, you look at it and you're looking at the lineup. It's got on, there's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the days that bands are playing. You could show up early for camping. But I mean, like, day 2, headliner Slipknot. Day 1, Corey Taylor's son's band Vended, it plays. So you're looking at this lineup. I mean, because it's Danzig, then Slipknot are the last 2 bands of the night.
Yeah.
That looks like a damn good show to me.
Yeah. I've seen both live several times, and I enjoyed them every time.
So people, and I've watched, and I'm not just taking one person's word for it. I have watched countless videos on this, read countless Reddits on this, seen pictures of the. Okay, so you show up at this rock festival. If you're camping, people arrived there at noon and didn't get to their campsite until 2 a.m.
How do you get 14 hours waiting for a campsite?
Because the process they were doing it was so fucked up. There's
Okay.
one entrance to the campgrounds, one entrance to the venue.
Mhm.
So, and this is, you're looking at 40,000 people coming in.
Right.
Well, they said there was 40,000 people, but they oversold the show by 20,000 tickets.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So right there, we already have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're looking at 60,000 people. So, all right. So now people are just driving to the show. So you get told where to park. You park. You are 5 miles away from the venue.
Oh, geez.
Yep. At this point, you have to go up and purchase tickets that cost $50 plus tax for each person to ride on a school bus to the venue.
What?
Yep.
And
Now,
none of this was it. You didn't have this was no there was no you just showed up and this is what you had to pay.
yep, you didn't have a choice. And it's 90 plus degree heat.
Oh, so yeah, you're not walking 5 miles.
No, because you're going to have heat stroke.
Yeah.
So the people like what the first video I watched, this guy was just like, it's just my car's 5 miles away. I don't like this. It just gives me a bad feeling. And they
Yeah.
only stayed for like a couple bands and decided, no, you know what? I can't be that far away from my car.
That's yeah, I would have a weird feeling about that myself.
Yeah. So okay, and then like last year's was such a shit show that they made improvements. They advertised 12 water stations.
12 for
Yes.
60,000 people.
Yes. You know what those 12 water stations were?
What?
One water station with 12 faucets. Now, mind you, the staff has been on site camping there throughout the week to set this whole thing up.
Uh-huh.
Working 12 to 14-hour days.
Right.
Now, here's the kicker. Working 12 to 14-hour days with no food or water.
Huh?
That they were promised. They were promised food, water. They had, there was 6 porta potties for 150 staff.
Oh, no.
There was 3 showers that didn't work for 150 staff.
3 showers that didn't work.
Yeah. So these staff had to drive to Planet Fitness, pay to shower, and come back.
That's stupid.
Yep. So these people, and mind you, this part kills me. So no cash was accepted on site.
Okay.
You had to purchase a bracelet and have cash loaded on this.
Mm-hmm.
And now Blue Ridge has an app that you download to your phone that lets you know what's going on.
Okay.
If you have service, which nobody did. So the app didn't work. So, and then like at one point, people are wondering where are all the merch sales and why am I paying $14 for a baklava?
Mm.
Here's the other kicker. Blue Ridge Rock Fest charges their vendors 40% of their sales.
Oh yeah.
And so that is why when you go to a concert, you're pissed off these guys. You have to pay $15 for a beer, but it's because the venue is stealing that from the merchandisers.
Right.
So, and the thing is, the merchandisers, everything was set up to Blue Ridge's POS system. So this band that you have all this money loaded on, if you don't spend it all, you don't get it back.
You lose it.
So
when are the lawsuits coming?
Hmm?
When are the lawsuits coming?
In Virginia, you cannot have a class action suit against somebody. You have to do it federally.
Oh, okay. I guess
so.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So day one of the show, things are going good. People are having heat stroke. Untrained medical staff that have no idea what to do for these people. There's no shade. They don't have the only awning tents are for VIP sections.
Okay, right.
So show's going on, Vended plays, do a good job, blah blah blah. Then Vince Neil plays.
Mm-hmm.
Goes 15 minutes over his time. Because it's Vince Neil and he's,
Right.
more important than everybody else. So it cuts into the next person's time. All right, that could have been day 2. I don't remember. I'm getting things confused a bit. But so on day 1, you know that hurricane that hit Florida?
Uh-huh.
Virginia's pretty close to Florida
Yeah, yeah.
in the ocean. So it's going to get hit by something. Yeah. So huge storm out of nowhere pops up.
Yeah, I think it was called a tropical storm at that point, but yeah.
So they said everybody has to evacuate on 10 to 12 buses that fit 48 people, 48 adults.
Did they charge them $150 to leave?
No, because they already paid to get there. They can get back for that same amount or on that same ticket. But I'm sure every day they probably had to pay.
Yeah.
So, so you're in 90-degree heat. All of a sudden, it starts pouring, and then starts hailing.
Oh, with no cover.
With no cover. Only cover is trees along the road as you're waiting in line, and lightning striking all over the place.
Jeez.
Because of this brilliant evacuation plan that says, oh, seek cover. There's no cover. I mean, people were hiding under the stage. There's electric wires under there. That's fucking stupid.
It's a huge metal, that's a huge lightning rod.
Yeah. So now you have, now mind you too, they had subcontracted trash removal and porta potty cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah, those subcontractors never showed up.
Awesome.
Yeah. So porta potties haven't been emptied, trash all over the place. People are like online, some of the things going, people are disgusting, throwing the trash everywhere. Where are you supposed to put it?
Right.
Trash cans are full. People were supposed to empty it. They didn't. And then 60-mile-an-hour winds, even the trash that's in the bin's coming out.
Exactly.
People's tents were destroyed. I mean, because, yeah. I mean, they're going to be. So, and
cars damage, I'm sure.
No help for the handicap. I mean, you're putting people's lives in danger.
Exactly.
I mean, you're lucky nobody died. Many people had to be rushed to the hospital. And people are still suffering. And people got diphtheria.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure with the uncleanliness of the porta-johns and everything.
Yep. And so, I mean, people on day 1 were dropping from heat stroke.
You go from extreme heat to violent weather, rainstorms, hail, lightning.
Yeah. All right. So that wraps up day 1. And a shit show.
That's day 1 of 4.
Yeah. Day 2 comes on. All right. So during day 2 at 5:00 p.m., the staff posted signs saying, and messages to Mr. Sly of changes they wanted or they were walking.
The staff did.
Yep. Or they were striking.
All right. Let's just add this whole venue and no staff.
Yep. So then this was at 5:00 on day 1 where they posted this. So they had until 5:00. They gave them 24 hours to fix it.
Okay.
So if there's this guy Tank the Tech, who is the actual tour manager for Electric Callboy. Never heard them, but they sound interesting.
Oh, actually, they started off as Eskimo Cowboy.
Okay.
But then they had to change. They had to change their name because their use of the word Eskimo when they're not even
that makes sense
being Eskimos. So they changed the name to it used to be Electric Cowboy, then it changed it to Eskimo Cowboy, then they changed it to Electric Callboy. They got some really cool stuff actually. They're German, I believe.
Okay.
And We Got the Groove, and is a great video. It's a cool song. It's catchy as hell. It's pretty hard, but they all they all have the same look like Devo used to.
Okay.
And when you watch that video, you'll love the song and you will laugh your ass off at the video at the same time. They
Nice.
don't take themselves serious, and I would, when they come to, if they come to this area, the America, I am going to go see it. And I said America, even though we have people that listen to this that are not in the States. Everybody else calls us the States. For some reason, we call ourselves America, where we know there's a North and a South and a Central America. So anyway, I apologize for that one. Anyway, Electric Cowboys really cool. So I want to hear where this.
Well, after their experience, I doubt they'll come back to the States.
Okay.
So Tank the Tech, he did a whole video on this, and Tank the Tech, go check if you're interested in music.
We'll put a link to this thing right here.
Yeah,
it's like the videos, to the horror story and the Mr. Ballin that I mentioned in the last episode. We'll put them all down here.
Yeah, because
he's up there to me. This is down here.
Right.
This is where links go.
Right.
And up there, links here. Okay.
But his channel is really interesting because he's got a lot of stories. And they're really cool stories.
Yeah. Well, I have seen him. I did go look him up after we talked about it. I have seen a couple of his videos, and it's like, yeah, he's got some you want good on the road stories. These are the people, the tour manager and the lead roadie. Those are the guys that you want to talk to.
Yep.
They know all the secrets.
So Tank tells his story of how before they were to go there, they were told, send an email with everything you need, blah blah blah. So he did all that because that's his job, and he does his job. So they get there, they arrive, and they're like, "Where the hell is everybody? What are we supposed to do? Where's the staff?"
Oh no!
This before the staff went on strike.
Oh, before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they played Friday.
Okay.
So he gets a hold of somebody and they're like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Well, I need, flatbeds, and I need a crane or a forklift to lift up our video equipment, send it." And like, "We didn't hear about any of this. You didn't send your stuff in." "Oh, yes, I did. Here's the email." And so so they had to wait there for 3 hours before they were able to move their equipment to the stage area. Mind you, the band were stuck outside in 90+ heat with no water. And this is the fucking band.
Wow.
So they were just treating their the fans like shit. They're treating the bands like shit too. I mean, so they finally get their stuff loaded. They broke one of their video things because it fell off the flatbed.
Oh.
And so they end up forklifting it all the rest of the way to the stage.
Even though it was broken.
No, the other one, because they had two.
Oh, the other one. Okay.
So they do that. And then they get on. When they finally get there, then they had to wait another 3 hours. Then, in 90+ heat. So they get to play, and people that saw them said they loved their show. They were incredible. So which is good. They at least got to put on a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I heard really good things about Vended with Corey Taylor's son. I got to check them out sometime because I love Corey Taylor's voice. I can't imagine how great his son's voice is.
Yeah.
So
Spaceman is another really good song by Electric Callboy.
Okay. So
there's some German rap in it. There's some German rapper that is featured in it.
Yeah.
And you hear a lot of times when you have different rappers, they still from other other countries, they still rap in English for the most part. This guy's straight up German, and it's actually, I have no idea what he's saying. He could be insulting my mother, but it just sounds really cool.
Right. Yeah. So so Friday goes off, and at the end of Friday, because the staff haven't been fed, the bands haven't been fed. was the headliner. Slipknot ordered catering for all the staff and the bands.
Oh, okay.
So, for what Johnny Sly can't do, Slipknot can,
That's
because
awesome.
they care about people. So after Friday, people, I mean, this is how bad the lines were to get to parking and stuff. People running out of gas in line.
Doesn't surprise me at 14 hours just to get a campsite.
Right. So Saturday comes around.
Okay, I'm gonna go out there and say this. There's documentaries on Woodstock 99 and what a horrific thing that was. There was so much bad that happened there, but it had nothing to do with people getting there, or it was they just, and that one they just overcharged for everything. It was,
Right.
I mean, in 99 they were charging $9 for a 20-ounce water. There was
Right.
no free drinking fountains or anything like that. It's like, so that was the shit that was going on there. I mean, still had porta potty issues, and then they had like a lot of sexual assaults and rapes that happened there, plus all the violence and the riot that went on afterwards. But right now, I'm comparing the two things, and then the fire festival that happened down in the Caribbean, which those
Yep.
people showed up to, like, they were supposed to have luxury accommodations, and they had put a fucking tent with water in it,
Yeah.
and a twin mattress thrown in a mud puddle, and that's what they're supposed to sleep on. I still think those two festivals were better than this one that you're describing right now.
Yeah.
Not to mention the dude that went to prison for the fire festival and all his like fraud that he did. He
Yeah.
just got out of prison and he announced he's doing a fire festival too, and people are actually starting to buy tickets.
Saw that.
How dumb is that? But anyway,
Yeah.
please continue this like fucking travesty.
So on day 2, nothing's going on. Or on Saturday, nothing's going on. People can't figure out what's going on. They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll right now, we're having difficulties. We'll update everybody at 5 p.m."
Was their show supposed to be going on during the day?
Yeah, supposed to start at noon.
So okay, so 5 hours in, they're still getting just general.
Yeah.
So
then
all of these bands that they would have seen, they can't just force them into like, okay, we're going to start at 6 and then we're just cram everybody consolidated sets up until midnight. It just doesn't work that way.
Right. So then at 5 o'clock, they announced that due to inclement weather, mind you, it rained on Thursday. Friday was beautiful.
It rained on Thursday. You said it hailed and lightning.
Right. That was Thursday. Friday was beautiful. Saturday was beautiful. Sunday was beautiful. But due to inclement weather, and we've spoken with state officials and county officials, and they told us we need to shut the festival down because there's more incoming weather.
But Sunday ended up being beautiful.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday and Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So, not mentioning, that their workers threatened to go on strike because they weren't being fed, or were being treated like fucking cattle. Right. Mind you, Johnny Sly is already fighting a lawsuit from 2021 Blue Ridge Rock Fest for not paying his staff.
So let me ask you, I'm going to ask you, it's not really, it's kind of an aside question, but Slipknot was Thursday night, right? Friday night. So they were the headliner Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's day 2 of the festival.
Yep.
Who's supposed to be the headliner to end the show on Sunday?
I can't even remember. I could probably look it up. I only looked up the 2 days that actually played. Okay. Oh, let's go daily lineups. So let's say Sunday.
Why don't you use their app?
Pantera.
Pantera was supposed to be the closeout festival.
Yeah, because Sunday was supposed to be Pantera, Limp Bizkit, Lamb of God, Jeff Hardy, Chevelle, Pierce the Veil, Baby Metal, Corey Taylor, Bad Omens, Death Clock, Suicidal Tendencies, Ginger, Avatar, Sleeping with Sirens, I See Stars, Dayseeker, Senses Fail, The Color Morale, and then a bunch of other bands I've never heard.
So wait a minute. You have a lineup.
Yep.
that's got everything from Pantera to baby metal. Now, I don't know if you know anything about baby metal.
Nope.
Um, what do they call the Tachi band? I think is the name. I can't. Maybe that's not right. Their backup band is phenomenal, and
Okay.
then they're like these three little Japanese girls that come out and do like these choreographed like K-pop like dances and singing to this stuff.
Yeah.
It's wild as hell. It sounds stupid, but when you see it live, it's I've never seen them live, and I would love to, but
Right.
it's crazy, and especially in you see they have some footage of them in Japan, the crowd participation that the energy that they put into their shows, and they're like I think you said they're the seventh band that you listed
Yeah.
on there. They're not the hugest here in the States, but they put on an amazing show. And to miss out on the opportunity, I mean, you said what? Uh Suicidal, Chevelle, you said Corey Taylor's playing was in there.
Yep. Lamb
And
of
it goes
God.
out with the Pantera revival thing.
Right.
To miss out on that's
Yeah.
and I understand why 60,000 people put their faith in this festival to go to this. And
Right.
is this the one I believe that was like Iron Maiden was supposed to play on Saturday, but they got swapped out. They couldn't do it, so it was like Judas Priest that took over for him, if I'm not mistaken. Was
I'll
this
tell
that
you.
festival?
Hold on a second. Let me tell you. Uh, I'm gonna see Saturday because I don't remember seeing Megadeth was supposed to be there Saturday.
Okay.
Black Label Society is supposed to be there. I'm not seeing Iron Maiden, so they might have
Okay,
taken them
maybe there's
away.
another festival. There's one that was like each night was like two like major level bands.
Right.
It must have been I'm getting my I don't know every festival that's out there, trust me.
Yep.
But
So Saturday night or Saturday evening on the 6 o'clock news, the owner of the Virginia International Raceway
mhm.
is being interviewed on the news about the festival. Blue sky, sun shining. Said, unfortunately, due to inclement weather, we're going to have to cancel the rest of the festival. There's more storms rolling in, blah, 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 blah. So he's in on the lie too because, hey, he's getting paid.
You're right.
Now, then Blue Ridge, like a week later, came out, well, due to misinformation, we had closed due to inclement weather, and everybody just called him out and just bashed the shit out of him for it.
As they should.
Yeah. So Saturday, the staff said, fuck it, we're done. Walked out. There was like a handful of them left, like 15 left that didn't walk. And one of them even, tweeted or X'd or whatever the hell you call it.
You're right.
Hey, so proud of you guys for walking out and sticking up for yourselves, but fuck you for leaving me.
Right.
15 people had to try to tear all this shit down, and they didn't get down. The speedway had to come in and do it and hire people to do it. So, Johnny Sly, was like, oh, we'll keep you updated on refunds. I watched a video that was updated today. They still have heard no information about refunds.
Oh, there won't be.
Nope. Because they're trying to use that inclement weather thing.
Yeah.
Which is why the owner of the raceway probably came on and said, oh, inclement weather.
So that they wouldn't be pulled into a lawsuit themselves.
Right. I just want to make sure I covered everything here.
Well, I wanted you to come out and say like some of the lineups of these people of what people missed,
Yeah.
People fanatics will put up with a lot of shit.
Yep.
To see like especially those lineups both nights. Good Lord.
Yeah, now I want to share an image of old Johnny Sly with you.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta let me do it.
Oh yeah. That helps. No, I'm not sharing screen. You are.
All right.
There we go.
Okay.
I should really start doing that right off the bat, just so it's
right. So this right here is good old Johnny Sly. And this picture right here was turned into a meme stating the face you make when you scam 60,000 people.
Right. Okay, let me just ask this. Is that the face of a metal fan?
No,
No, he didn't give two craps about those people.
nope.
But obviously he's got some kind of chops because he got all these bands booked.
Well, and he's been doing this since 2019.
Yeah.
So, granted, 2020 didn't happen.
Right.
But 2022 was a shit show.
And 2023 will go down in infamy.
Yes. I mean, go check out some of these videos that I mean, I tried watching one video of a guy that was like an hour long. This guy just annoyed me because he looked like he was like 40, long hair guy, but I mean his room he's sitting on his bed in his bedroom filming this, and it looks like a high school kid's bedroom with metal posters on the wall.
Nice. This is the Blackie Lawless poster I've had since '88.
Right. I mean, it's what my bedroom looked like in high school.
And
but
mine was like Freddy Krueger posters with Samantha Fox over here, and
but I mean, this guy was very traumatized by it because like he was like almost in tears throughout this video, and I can only watch like 15 minutes of the hour long video because I'm just like, yeah, this is too much for me, dude.
And okay, think of it in this regard too. How many times do people go to festivals and stuff like that where they have to nickel and dime it because it took either something happened right before they get to the festival, or they went on the last moment. It's like, well, we can do this, but we got to do it really cheap.
Right.
And then you get there and you got to pay $50 to go from the campground to
the parking lot, not the campground.
Okay, the parking lot to the I mean, and not know that it's like that could have been somebody's food money,
right,
that they planned on using to eat when they got there, knowing right. That it's like, okay, it's going to be expensive there, but maybe with this $50 I can get a burger and maybe a bottle of water.
So I'm going to do some math real quick. So a school bus can fit 48 adults, 10 school buses. So there's 60,000 people there, divided by 480. That's 125 trips
per bus
for 10 school buses, because 10 school buses can, well, actually, if I do it by, it's 1,250 trips bus by bus by bus.
Yeah.
So if you group them in 10, it's 125.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's because you can only fit 40. I'm granted you could squish some people, fit a little bit more. But I mean, like some people, when the storm hit, they walked back to the parking lot. It took them 2.5 hours to get there.
5 miles in that torrential rain and hail.
Yeah, and they still got there quicker than people waiting in line to get on the bus.
Right.
That were there in line for 4 hours.
How do you only have 10 buses?
Because he screwed up. Like I saw, like other people that do venue transportations. Like the one lady said, I almost bid on this job until I saw who was running it.
Okay.
We have done his festivals in the past, and we got screwed and not gotten paid. So we did not bid on this. So it's down to whoever you can get to do it at that point, because he screwed so many people that nobody wants to work with it.
Like you should call like First Student or Cascade or what's the other one, Laidlaw, just start running a school bus service for them, because they probably would have done a hell of a lot better job.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that all these people, like there were people that went there for their birthday weekend. There are people that went there for a honeymoon.
Yeah.
People say, I mean, we went to a concert, took our kids to it. The last concert I went to, the Megadeth one with Five Finger and The Who. And honestly, that cost us probably like $300 to $400 with us and 4 kids.
There you go.
Or no, 6 kids. Because it was Zach and my son Zach and his fiance, Alex and his girlfriend, and then Jordan and Rissa. So yeah, also we had 6 kids with us. Not kids, they're adults, but toddler kids. took them because I'm like, I'm going to share my last concert with you guys. And for like one of my kids, it was his first concert.
Oh, there you go.
So
Actually, it's funny. I'm wearing this hoodie today, and my son and I just went and saw Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, and Ministry with Filter just the other day, and the drink responsibility thing is still in my pocket here. But that with I had some concert cash thing that Live Nation gave me for seeing a different show, a Tears for Fears show that I went to. So I used that to cover all the fees, everything. My son and I went and saw that show. We sat up in the lawn, but it cost me $60
yeah, that's not bad
for the two of us to see that.
That's
And
cheap.
yeah, quite. That's why after he was like, "Do you want to go?" And I looked at tickets, and then it says, "Hey, don't forget you got this concert cash." I'm like, "Bye." I'm like, "Yeah, you're going." He's like, "Well, thanks." I expected to buy my ticket. I'm like, it was $60. We hung out. We both had a good time.
Right. And it's worth it.
Here's the best. This is what I love about living where I live. We left halfway through Zombie's last song, which was Dracula. Okay. We got a head start on everybody else. So Reese is like,
Right.
we set up in the lawns, we walked down, we watched a lot of the pyrotechnics and all the screens and stuff. We watched that. He's like, okay, that's cool. So we walked out, got to my van at 11:09, pulled into my driveway 11:31.
Nice. Oh, like our trip was a little bit longer because it's 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away.
Right.
So we got home late, but I mean, how do you not take care of your staff?
Right.
I mean, a show does not go on without stagehands.
Exactly. So
I mean,
I know a guy who used to build stages, because basically it's scaffolding, and it's all metal erected scaffolding, and he worked with us when I did scaffolding. He was telling me this story that he went out to this little festival out in the Dells, Oregon, and they built the stage, but then a lot of times some of these festivals that they go to, they would also get hired on to be lighting crew.
right.
So he was running a spotlight through it, and they had they're all synced in with their headphones, and they're listening to the light director, and who to show the spotlight on now, and all this. Well, the band was Night Ranger, was the headliner of this. And during the encore, right before the encore come out, my friend says, "They fucking play Sister Christian, I'm out of here." And everybody starts laughing. They're kind of making fun of Night Ranger, yada yada yada. They're throwing shit back and forth. Well, afterwards they always did a wrap up thing, and well, they did play Sister Christian during the encore, and they always had this wrap up, and then the band man or the stage manager or wherever, one of the managers, come in and pay them for the lighting thing, and then give them a rundown of how well they did, or yada yada yada. Well, it wasn't the normal guy that would have came in, it was somebody else. And the guy threw their money at him, and he says, "Hey, the drummer's riser was picking up all of your headsets." So he heard everything you guys said throughout the show.
Oh God.
It's including the "if they play Sister Christian, I'm fucking out of here" comment. So this poor drummer, who probably wasn't even in the band when they wrote the song, he's just
right.
a hired hand, getting to live the life of a rock star, playing with this older band, and he's listening to like, "You play that fucking song, I'm out of here." So
that's my favorite song. That's one of my favorite songs of theirs.
Yeah, it's what there's only a couple that might be better, but yeah.
Now, here's one of the only really funny thing I heard about Blue Ridge. And this is from Tank the Tech. He said he actually, because he didn't know Jonathan Sly, but he said he actually spoke with the promoter because they were asking him, what's going on? He said, "This is the most unprofessional, unsafe shit show I've ever been involved in." And he said the promoter just looked shocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, I mean, it's his job to protect his band,
Yeah,
and you're keeping them out in 90-degree heat, not providing them water or anything, and they got to go on stage and perform for like half hour, 45 minutes
exactly.
with, I mean, with heat exhaustion.
Hmm.
How good of a show you gonna do?
Right.
I
And
mean,
they're a high energy band.
I've done outdoor shows, and we were a high energy band. And in the summertime, some of those outdoor shows are tough.
I bet. I bet.
Because I mean, you're already on stage under lights, and now you got heat, more heat, and you're
Exactly.
playing instruments and running around and singing and all this other
Yeah.
shit.
You're doing math and telling poetry, so
Yeah. But yeah, so my my take on this is if because they've already put up Blue Ridge 2024.
I'm sure they did.
Nobody buy tickets to that.
Nobody buy
Nobody.
tickets for that, and no band sign up to be on it.
Right. Because I mean, I know why bands get on it like Slipknot stuff because they want to be at every festival that
Yeah, it's
because they want to be there for their fans.
yeah, it's exposure, and especially the opportunity to play in front of 60,000 people. Well,
Right.
supposed to be 40,000, but they didn't know
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it was just everything from beginning to end was a complete fucking shit show. I mean, I saw like somebody had like porta potty door open and took a picture. Oh, that was disgusting.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh, I mean, that's the true horror show part of this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But
So to
when you
bring
have
this
people,
full circle, it's like it sounded like that whole weekend was about the same experience that 13-year-olds had in 1978 and one night on Halloween.
yes,
Horrific.
yes, yes. So yeah, that is our show in a wrap.
Exactly. We like to talk about whatever, and we have a theme. We go with it, and hopefully, you'll run with it. You'll look into more your music festivals. Doesn't have to be metal. Just look into music festivals, but not the Blue Ridge.
Yeah, and stay away from. There was one that was in Vegas. I forgot the name of it already, but like I was watching a video on that earlier, and it was like Ice-T's Body Count was playing,
Mm,
and they were supposed to play earlier today, but they bumped them and moved them, so they had to play at the same time as System of a Down was playing on another stage.
that's dumb.
Yep. And then like I'm watching it, Ice-T's holding two mics, only one of them's working.
He probably doesn't even know which one's working too.
Well,
He's
no,
gonna
he
hang on
had
to
figured
both
that
of
out because he had the monitors. So
them.
he figured out which one's working. He's like, yeah, this mic works. And then he's like, okay, hey guys, can you hear the drums? Everybody's like, yeah, because you can hear the drums. Drummer starts playing. He's like, how about the bass? Bass starts playing. He's like, there, yeah. How about our rhythm guitarist over here? And he starts playing, like, yeah. How about Gus? No. Yeah, he's our lead guitarist. Why does he not have sound?
Right. Okay.
What it was, but I mean, this was one in Vegas. I guess most of the show went good, but there was, I guess they had, I'm gonna guess a very new sound guy.
Probably.
When Ice-T's telling you how to run the soundboard, and he's been acting for years and not
Mhm.
performing,
Yeah.
You might want to like learn your fucking job.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, the funny reason I watched that because the intro, the guy's like, "Yep, I went to this because I wanted to see a bunch of 40-year-old goth people having their mascara melt in 100-degree Vegas sun."
It's kind of gloomy, but funny.
Yep. But he's like, and I was into all these bands when I was younger,
Mm.
So, but yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, because like Cradle of Filth was the headliner.
Okay.
Yeah, and they didn't get started till like 11:30.
Oh, damn.
And in Vegas, they have a strict policy, midnight outdoor venues.
Yeah.
So with no warning or anything, lights came up, their sound went out at midnight.
So they got 30 minutes and they're the headliner.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Cradle of Filth would be cool to see.
Yeah. I just don't have the guts to wear their one T-shirt though.
I don't know what it is.
They have it. They have probably it's been hands down the most offensive T-shirt on the planet because of the fact that people have actually been arrested for wearing it.
Oh shit!
On the front is a woman dressed up as a nun doing the full-on exorcist thing with the crucifix.
Oh,
This fuck you thing. And on the back, it just simply says in bold red letters, Jesus is a cunt.
Yeah,
People have actually been arrested on obscenity charges just for wearing that shirt.
I believe it.
So,
but yeah, so yeah, don't go to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival and don't go trick or treating in Iowa.
yeah, there you go. Look out for red vans.
Yep. People curse that if they don't kill three kids and an adult by midnight, then they're dead.
Travel in groups of 4.
Right.
2 or 4, never 3.
Right. Not
if you're a group of 4, make sure one of them's not an adult.
Exactly. I was gonna say not 3 kids and an adult.
Yeah.
That just makes it easier.
All right. So with that, I'm gonna say this was fun. I like doing this. We'll have to do more later.
Yeah.
We'll jump to something else next week because you might be bored with this topic, but we will be back.
Yes, we will. And with that, I say, peace out, guys. Love you.
Bye-bye. No, it fucking moved. The goddamn record button moved.
Mine's still in the same spot.
It's all the way up here at the top now. It's past you all the way up there.